A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there to my channel, the Twinflame Union. And in this channeling session, I'm going to be talking about the false twin of Divine Masculine running away and Divine Masculine also understanding the difference between false twin and real twin flame. Now, mostly it is seen that the divine feminine has a false twin relationship because divine feminines have long-term relationships, and false twin relationships normally happen in long-term scenarios. But how it will play out in divine masculine's life is that even though he had a false twin, it is obviously shorter period of time as compared to the divine feminine. But he will understand that she or he, whatever it happens, whichever way, is a very, very, very evil person, literally sent by the devil. Now, let me explain what false twins are there to do in the life of divine feminine first, and then you can understand how the masculine learns about it. In some cases, it even overlaps because the false twin tries to reconnect with the divine feminine after she has already met her twin, and after the twin and feminine are going through some, like the DM and the DF are going through some issues. They are going through some separation phase, and while she's fighting with the DM or she's going through separation with the DM, the false twin wants to come back and tries to come back and this and that. This happens in some scenarios. In some scenarios, the divine feminine has to push him or her away, and it's not easy. Basically, the false twin, they are psychos. They are psychopaths, and the psychopaths are also very smart. If you have seen all the psychotic movies where you have psychos playing really important role in the films or TV shows, you will see that they are really smart. They are very smart in manipulation. They're very smart in scheming, plotting, planning. And they're very charming too. And in many television series, especially on Netflix or Amazon also, you must have seen, and in many movies, they have always shown the psychos to be very charismatic, very charming people who are very well spoken. And the funny part is, just when I'm doing this channeling, I just happened to click on Google search while I'm doing this channeling, and the first face that has popped out is like a psycho person's face. Now, what psychos basically do is they are very good in creating an image. They try to create this image so that people like them first, and people like them. And once they are very sure that the other person likes them a lot, that's when they start playing with them, and that's when they start turning them crazy. There was one show on Netflix called You. It was quite popular last year, I think. And how they wrote the show is that they talk about two psychos falling in love with each other and how both of them manipulate each other and do anything and everything. And you will see how both of them are very charming, very good actors. And sympathy was a very important tool for them. Like, both of them would show how vulnerable they are, how helpless they are, how much they need one another, how true their love is. Now imagine two people are not psychos. One person is normal, is a good human being. Or you would say, if not good, but an aware human being, an empathetic human being. Now, why do the divine feminines meet the false twins? They meet the false twin because they have this sympathetic nature that needs to be healed and corrected. You should not have sympathy, you should have empathy. Empathy is what is needed to heal other people. But when you have sympathy, then you can get destroyed by people. You can get hurt very badly. And this lesson is taught to them very well by the false twin, who is literally sent from the devil. They are so evil and they're so bad as human beings that they can literally kill other people. And what happens with these false twin is that they keep getting upgraded in their game of manipulation. And it is the twin flame, when they meet a twin flame, a person who is on the twin flame journey, and that's why the twin flame also meets these people to put a full stop to their game and scare them off. Till the time the twin flame does not decode the false twin, till the time the divine feminine does not understand, and this will happen with the divine masculine later on. First, it will always be the divine feminine who will meet the false twin. And could possibly be that either the divine masculine had met the false twin before meeting his real twin, or he gets close to them during separation phase. That's when the separation for some people becomes longer, but the universe has already, healed the divine feminine so much by then that she's busy in her mission work. She doesn't remember the masculine, the DM so much at that time. And I'm just talking about few examples. It's a very in-depth study and it's a very, very interesting format as far as I know. I know it's very painful for those people who are stuck in a loop with a false twin. But you definitely have some capability and some potential in you that God has put you in that place. And when you're out of the false twin relationship, you become a very, very powerful person. And you will know that power because your false twin, I don't want to use the word the false twin realizes the power of the twin flame. He knows that there is someone who can destroy them. But they don't. They let them go, and that scares them even more. So this format, if you have this in your journey, you will have to get into a personal reading, and I highly recommend personal therapy for this type of situation if you have identified it, because in some cases the false twins leave a lot of trauma also. I mean, they go away, they scare the divine feminines, scare them away after a point. But their only job on planet Earth is to keep the divine masculine and feminine away from each other for as long as they can. So the divine feminines and the masculines, they are so hurt and so tormented. They are great warriors. They fight it off for sure, but they also feel very sad about it. They also feel very bad about it. So that trauma needs to be healed. Now, twin flames, all twin flames are very high vibrating beings. And when they fully ascend, they are very powerful at that time. And they don't use all these, when I speak about power, I don't mean power that is used as a superior connotation. This is a power of love that they have. And they vibrate in the love frequency. So when you meet the false twin basically, that's the reason why they are called false twin, because they are very good actors. They're really good psychos, as in good, when I say good means they are very charismatic, and they, in some cases, they have been watching the divine feminine or the masculine for a long time. As in, they have been keeping an eye on them, judging them, observing them, trying to see how they can get into their pants, because sex is one of the most important tool they use. The false twin relationship is completely based on sex. But this is not something that the twin flame know. The twin flames think it's love, because this is what the acting is all about. This is what the pretentiousness is all about. They are really good actors, but they are not so good that they can fool a twin flame for a long time. They will fool the twin flame for some time, but this is where they get overconfident, and when they get overconfident, that's when their bad time starts. And they know after the divine feminine or the divine masculine go away from them, once they have realized, all of their all of their bad money, evil money, blood money, they have a lot of blood money. And they are the type of people who can even kill their own people for money. And by killing, they again kill people by using low vibrational energy, by using emotional torture, by using infidelity. They break people. This is what false twins do. And false twins are never alone. They are never alone. They're always in a group. They have a mother, they have an evil mother, or they have an evil sibling, or they have, they have an evil gang of people who sort of, they do teamwork. They do a lot of teamwork. And when I'm saying this, those of you who know what a false twin is like, you know that they have a team around them all the time. It's like when one falls weak, the other team member comes to fool the twin. So they use a lot of tools, like they use sadness, they use pain, fake sadness, fake stories, and a lot of fake sympathy. They approach the twin flame, the divine feminine or divine masculine, in such a way that can only be most evil. Like if you remember a movie, there was a movie about this orphan girl, a small little orphan girl who was adopted by a family. The movie's name was also Orphan. I don't know how many of you have seen it, but when I saw the movie, it was 2009, and this was also the time when I had started writing my book, or I was preparing for the twin flame concept. The twin flame concept at that time was not out there in the market. It was not even available for many people, but I don't know, somehow I channeled the information back then. I didn't even know at that point in time that I was channeling. But the universe has its own way of preparing the vessels or preparing the mediums. And of course, it is universe that is the doer. We are not the doers. We should never be the doers, because it's much more fun to surrender, let go, and watch and observe than to take control. Now, in this movie, the character of that orphan girl, that is the character, you can say that's how the false twins are. I'm not going extreme. You might think that that's too extreme, but that's energetically, that's not extreme. Because imagine the divine masculine meets an orphan girl, and he thinks that, I should take care of her, I should provide her with all my love, and she turns out to be an evil person. And he chooses her after leaving divine feminine, because even the divine masculine has to clear the polarity of sympathy. It's very similar to that, the divine feminine, for example, the divine feminine meets a guy who has known her for, say, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. And one fine day, he comes across to her as a person who's been contacting her, wanting to take her out on dates, being very nice, very kind-hearted. And they use all the right words. They pretend to be very spiritual. She believes him. And then he starts telling her how much pain he has gone through. He will say exact same things that normally a twin flame resonates with, because the twin flame themselves had gone through a lot of pain. Especially, they have felt a lot of abandonment by their parents, and they don't even put a word to it. If they've never pointed a finger at it, they've kept it to themselves. Parents or families or sibling bonds or whatever. Abusers, sexual abusers in the family friends, something has always played out with them. So when the false twin, who uses these words, these things to get sympathy, or to get into the pants of other people, or to get energy from other people, the divine feminine or the masculine has no idea. They, from their own perspective, being innocent people, they want to do the best for these people. They want to heal those people, because they approach them for the same reason. They ask for love, they ask for companionship, they ask for marriage, they ask for everything. They make it very perfect. But the energy, when they start sucking the energy, they do it in the worst possible way ever. So that character of orphan, is how I feel false twin flames are like. Very evil, very, 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 very pure evil, pure devil at work, but very innocent on the face. Very, very innocent, very, very, it's very difficult to actually figure it out in the initial sometime. It could be few months for the divine masculine, because divine masculines normally spend less amount of time in relationships. The only longest, purest relationship they will have in their entire life is with the divine feminine. Before that, whatever relationships they have, they will not be so long term, but they will obviously be long term in their own eyes, because they've never had such long term relationships. So the false twin relationship would somehow be longer than other relationships for the divine masculine also, and for the divine feminine also. The false twin relationship would be a long-term relationship. Now you must be thinking, why am I sharing this information with you here right now? It's because a lot of you are actually struggling with the dark underworld energies. And the dark underworld energies should not be seen as powerful energies. They should rather be seen as energies that sort of help you out to ascend further. The false twin relationship is very important, because the twin flame needs to understand their power. And they know that, once they deal with the false twin and the karmics, it's not that those energies will stop. In the future also, they could meet people who would try to seduce them, try to come close to them. They would be from the underworld, they would be from the dark world. But the twin flames by that time would have mastered it, would have become ascended masters in their journey, in their field, that they could actually, take away all of their energy and send them back. And it's like putting a full stop, because when you, like for example, these false twins, they can be very dangerous. And by the time they meet the divine masculine or the divine feminine, they have become so dangerous that they want energy so badly that they can kill people, or they could have killed someone in their family. They could have killed a very nice, loving father in their family for money. And it's not necessary that all murders take place how they show in the movies. There are many murders that take place psychologically, like how some people psychologically break down a person. And you would have noticed this in their own life, in your own life also. There are people who are constantly been told how bad they are, how useless they are, how sick they are, how stupid they are, how unworthy they are. And those people get some very bad disease and they die, after a while. Or they, what I'm trying to say. Please understand where this is going to and how this can help you. That not all deaths or not all bad accidents, it's not always connected to something that takes place. It's very, very mental. It's very, very emotional. And constantly, if people treat you badly, say for example, you're a really generous, very kind-hearted human being, but you are surrounded. It's just your karma, or whatever reason it is, you're surrounded by 5 key people in your family, in your own family. Maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your children, maybe it's your wife's sister or somebody, who are really bad people, who only want your money, who only care about materialistic things. You keep earning, you keep giving, you keep earning, you keep giving. 20 years pass by like that, 30 years pass by like that. And after a time, you have amassed a lot of wealth. And now they are planning and scheming that if you're going to die, they will get the will, they will get the money, or they will get... And this is a very common scenario that happens in a lot of people's family, where they fight with each other for money, or they, constantly create emotional dramatic scenes for money. They use sexuality, like the wife keeps seducing the husband for money, or things like that. And in many cases, some of these good human beings, good souls, they cannot take it anymore. So they turn into alcoholics, or they turn into some kind of addicts, or they just end like that, So these false twins have maybe like the man, if it's a man, he has probably slept with so many women and he has destroyed them. Like he has used their innocence, he has used their, bodies, and just by using, loving words, kind words, he has slept with many. All these false twin flames, fidelity is their number one tool. Like pretending to do fidelity, but actually they are not loyal at all. Their infidelity is in their blood, it's in their veins, it's in their DNA. Lying, scheming, plotting, faking feelings, all of this. So they had destroyed many lives like that, and by the time they reach the divine feminine or the divine masculine, the vice versa, they have become like trained professionals. And now they need some very high vibrational energy because they have so much evil inside them, they have so much devilish energy inside them that they need something very powerful. So when they meet the divine masculine or the divine feminine, they are very overconfident, they are very smart by then. Initially, it is obviously their overconfidence. Then later on, when the divine masculine or the feminine, when they learn about their actuality, about their truth, then the countdown starts beginning. The countdown starts. And boy, oh boy, how they run away from the divine feminine or the masculine is just the most comical, hilarious sight to see. But they don't give up very easily also, because they are so weak in their energy. They are so, they don't have any shame, they don't have any manners, they don't have any humanity. So they can do anything. They can do anything to get the attention of a person. They just want to know, if I can just, just somehow from a small gap also, if I can manage to enter their life again. So this game is played by them, and the divine feminine and the masculine actually learn the truth about them when they feel that they have no value for their life. So when it gets to that level, that's when and that's how they learn. Because they don't even mind if the twin flame they are in dating, like they don't know it. Some of them even know about twin flames, by the way, because they have been, witnessing, or they have been hanging out, and they are very good to, when they pretend to be spiritual. So let me tell you, be very careful with these things. So they can pretend to be a twin flame, or they can pretend to be a spiritual person. They can pretend to be anything, as per the situation demands. They can pretend to be a yogi, because they have mugged up certain lines, and they are always hovering around these circles. They're very much present in spiritual circles also. So you have to learn to become so smart. After a point, the divine masculine and divine feminine are probably the smartest in this game. The smartest in this game. They know who is faking an image of a spiritual person. They know who is faking an image of a genuine, materialistically wealthy person, an abundant person. They will test other people also with time. They will be very smart in these things. So to reach to that level of mastery, they have to face these dark entities. They have to face these devilish entities. They have to face the entities who are full of desire, full of lust, full of envy, full of pride, full of vanity, full of sins, but yet they have the mask on their face of a human being. So the face of a human and a soul of a devil. And that's what a false twin flame is all about. And my dear friends, in this channeling session, I'm talking about divine feminines and masculines who have decoded the game of the false twin, and they have gained certain levels. They are in high levels, and they have a lot of respect for their divine masculine, divine feminine too. Even if they are in no contact situation, they have fallen more in love with them, because they know that being with the false twin is not easy. Understanding, imagine you're dating a character like the person from Orphan or the person from You. the You series and the Orphan movie. Imagine you've dated a person like that. You've been with a person like that type of energy. I'm not saying that they're all killers and they're all murderers. I'm not saying that. But energetically, they can do anything. And it's only when the divine feminine and masculine literally feel that they're going to die if they continue this. And even if they give their life in the name of love, those people will not care. They will not care a damn about it. That's when they understand that this can't be true love. And my divine masculine or my divine feminine is a far, 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 far better human being, a far better person. There is no one in the planet that I can compare them with. So, if they are in no contact also, or they are in separation also, they will pray for their well-being to the universe, to the masters, to the guides, and they will pray to the guides to clear all obstacles, to clear all blocks. You can make the prayer even right now. You can ask your masters, your benevolent guides, extraterrestrial beings who are helping you, twin flame guides and masters. You can say to them that all of you benevolent beings, my guides and masters who are with me all the time, please clear all blocks and negative energy between me and my twin. Please heal us both so that any reasons of separations can go away, can clear. I request you to do the clearing. I request you to help me out with this and help both of us out, and always keep us protected. So you can make these type of prayers, because understand that all these low vibrational energies like resentment, like envy, revenge and ego, these always feed on emotions, and we also need to do some sort of a work. We need to remove those elements from us, and that's why we meet these type of people. If you're in a good vibration, if you're in a high frequency, then obviously these negative energies cannot even affect you. Forget about attacking, they cannot even come close to you. So that's the reason why you need to work it out with them. The false twin, even one more way that you can recognize your false twin is that the false twin would look very similar to you. Like they will have certain features, or they will have certain skin complexion. They could even resemble, if you have narcissistic parents, narcissistic mother or father, they would even resemble them them with so much accuracy and so much closeness. It's crazy because the narcissistic template, because of the narcissistic template, you got the programming and the upbringing where you've been tolerating psychotic people since your childhood. You've been fighting with psychos, you've been meeting psychos, and you've always wondered, why do I keep meeting so many psychotic people, so many psychos? Because you're divinely guided, because you have a higher vibrational DNA system, because you could also be a star seed. So you obviously have met really amazing, beautiful people also. That's how you know the difference between an empath and a psychotic person. That's how you know that you are protected and you're guided, even if you're with really bad people around you. Now, this is again not to condescend anyone, because once you heal all your wounds, then you are such a different person that, everyone and everybody starts showing their best self to you, because they don't want to mess with you, or you have just healed, you have just released those low vibrational energies around you, because of which you become a high vibrating being. So those things don't even exist in your periphery. Even if the same people exist around you, they will change a lot. So on this note, I'm going to end this channeling, and one love and peace out.